Okay, got the reverser somewhat pulled apart anyways, not entirely. Hopefully not get a glare. Actually, that works out pretty good. So this is the reverse clutches here. And on one hand, I guess that's kind of surprising. Well, maybe this was one of the old steels.
Yeah, added the one.
Yeah, I added the one. Well, yeah, I guess it probably was because. But actually, that is kind of cool to pull it apart again so soon because you can see the high spot there, the high spot there, and then like right there. But anyways, so that's the forward clutch pack there, and then yeah, that other steel must have been one of the older ones. But yeah, I got the reverser pulled apart to this point anyways. I'm pretty fucking sure that where the metal came from that we saw in the pan was from this bushing here spinning inside of this front cover here, or whatever this part's called. I'm going to call it the front cover. But you can see it's scored up the inside of the front cover here. And unfortunately what happened, well, fortunately, unfortunately, I guess it kind of depends how you look at it, but this bushing seized around this shaft here, and then the bushing spun inside of the front cover. And I knew that it was really, really tight when we put it together, but I don't know, just being a dumbass and wanted to get it together. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about this yet. I do have the other bushing for it, but I don't have a good way of reaming this out to fit the shaft here because this bushing is too small to fit over the input shaft.
And then on top of that, you drive it in here, and then...
Yeah, and then it's a press fit in there, so it's going to shrink a little bit putting it in there. And of course, can take it to the machine shop, but I just don't really know if that's something that I want to do. I mean, we've been talking about this a lot, like what I want to do, if money and time were no option, is sandblast down the case and, repaint that and fucking, just go hog wild ape shit with everything and put a new torque converter in it and a new oil pump in it and, align bore all the fucking pins and everything on the machine and rebuild the engine and what have you. But of course, life and time and money is a bitch, so just kind of trying to figure out what route I want to take here with this. So in one of my previous videos, I was saying that I forgot an O-ring. The O-ring that I forgot because I was just, I don't know, stressed out and pissed off was the O-ring that goes around the oil pump here. I just simply forgot to install that. Oops, when we put it together last time. And so the reverser had an external oil leak from that O-ring that was missing on the pump. And then, as you can see here, there's metal shavings inside of the reverser, which I'm going to bet is from this here and the bushing that was spinning inside of that front cover.
It was reaming the front cover.
Yeah, it was reaming the front cover, all right. And then, of course, the other problem, too, is that forward worked for about a day and then took a shit. And so this here is the forward clutch pack, and you can see that the snap ring has popped out. And so I guess let's stick this in the deal here and disassemble this front clutch. What are we going to do? Something like so. But yeah, so I'm assuming that the reason that forward failed on me is because the snap ring popped out. Like so. Because I'm assuming that I put in too thick of a snap ring so it couldn't go in the groove. And could you grab the large brass punch, please? And hopefully, I think you can see the washer, the Bellevue washer, whatever the hell it's called.
Belleville?
Belleville is not centered in its deal there. So I guess, could you, what are you after?
I was just curious to look at the rest of the snap rings that we had.
Oh, gotcha.
The
There was a,
center one.
yeah, I forgot if that's what I put underneath or what, but
Maybe.
could you grab the dead blow and we'll drive out this forward piston? Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
You like it the sound?
Harder, Daddy.
Und ja.
Some dominatrix shit going on here. I like it. Harder. You doing all right there?
Oh.
One more.
Take it.
Okay. So, what's interesting here is these little wear marks right there, and I'm almost wondering is that because the snap ring came out that this pushed too far,
Potentially.
and it like deformed it too far the other way.
Oh yeah, and we got like some O-ring or something sticking.
Oh, we
out,
do.
Like it looks a bit torn.
Yeah. Could you grab the rubber tipped blowgun? We'll see if we can pop this piston out. You little sick fuck you. But yeah, so this larger diameter O-ring here is the one that I damaged putting back together. I fucking nicked it with an O-ring pick. So it looks like that snap ring is still in place. And then air hose, and if you could.
Which one?
Oh, smaller one, I guess.
We got the smaller one yet, but.
Yeah. Then you want to grab the air hose and see if we can pop this out of here. But yeah, a viewer, I don't remember their name right now, or username anyways, left a bunch of helpful information on some of the specs for the front clutch pack here, and I very much appreciate that. You know who you are, and I'll dig into that more tomorrow or whatever. Kind of right now, I just want to see what's going on with it. And then if you want to blow in that one there.
Inside here?
Yeah. More. Okay. I guess that's all we're going to get.
I can get the smaller one if you want.
But can you see if that's coming across on the video? I kind of can't really do both. But see how the edge of the O-ring here is kind of dickered? Is that coming across?
Maybe.
I wonder why is that? Like, because this was too far back. Like this piece, because the snap ring came out, it was too far back. So would that allow the piston to come out too much?
Or did that one spot... Did that one spot allow oil to... Well, I don't know.
I don't know either. But
Maybe hold it closer as well. Yeah, that's better.
okay,
Yeah,
like so.
yeah.
It looks like the edge of that O-ring is like eroded.
It does.
That God, that's so strange.
It is. Not smaller. Oh, we got that.
But what I was talking about with damaging the O-ring was
I think it's... Well, I think that's just oil. Never mind. I thought I saw a split. It healed itself.
fuck. Apparently,
Oh, there it is.
yeah. So does that come across?
I guess hold it a bit closer. And then you can kind of see the split, right? Here. Right there. I think you can see that.
But I think it'd be safe to assume that this shit here is where that kind of rubber looking stuff in the bottom of the pan was coming
Yeah,
from.
I mean, I'm guessing that's so far, anyways, what we've seen.
Yeah, so far. And I think it's safe to assume that the metal was coming from the spun bushing. And that it was safe to assume that the reason that forward took a shit is because that snap ring popped out.
So far, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like, as far as the issues, the symptoms that you were having is not so much the fact of the O-ring missing on the oil pump.
Yeah, I actually don't think that did shit as far.
Aside from leak,
Yeah.
you know, but
And two,
as far as noticeable symptoms from in the machine, like...
well, and two, the thing is, reverse felt fucking awesome.
It did.
You know, so if the oil pump, and I didn't check pressure on reverse. I kind of wish I did, but
Right.
like reverse felt fucking awesome. So if the oil pump, you know, wasn't capable of making, and okay, pumps don't make pressure, but if the oil pump was worn to where it couldn't make pressure, you would think that reverse wouldn't feel as good as it did.
You would think. And really too, with the point that it got before we tore it apart and put it back in, felt very weak. Then get it back together.
Forward,
it feels very
forward.
strong. Both felt strong,
yeah.
you know, and then forward quit working and reverse still felt very strong. Before maybe the weakness, I would have wondered about the pump.
Yeah.
And okay, it's not a brand new pump, we know that, but like I don't.
Oh, that's weird. So this last go round, when forward was working a little bit, forward felt weak compared to reverse. And so if, like, I guess it depends which way you think about it as being forward. But yeah, that way is forward of the machine.
That would be
Yeah, so this steel here
right.
is forward most on the machine.
Right.
And check this out. That steel has just, you know, barely worn a touch. And then as we go further down the steels, they start to get more and more and more worn.
Yeah. Not so much
Like,
hot though.
look at that one.
Yeah.
You know, like if you compare
Yeah.
that steel to that steel.
Right.
And then, of course, this last one's going to look different.
Yeah.
Because it's not a regular
Yeah.
steel. It's not like a stamped sheet metal one anyways. But Yeah, I mean, I only drove this thing like a mile, maybe, in forward. But like I said, forward was slipping a little bit. So, I guess all we can do is address the issues that we know are issues and put it back in and see what it does. Learn things the hard way. um, is there anything else you think we should get a video of while we got it going or anything?
Not at the moment, but I can.
All right. Well, as we go along, we'll see what else we find.